No, it's not that bad. Cars 2 gets a lot of criticism for really just a lot of things. There's too much Mater, there's not enough Lightning McQueen. It has no relation to the first movie whatsoever. The pacing's terrible, according to some people, I guess. But why is it actually bad? You can complain all you want about Cars spying on... It's a weird movie. The problem is really that it's associated with Cars. Cars 2 would be fine if it were a spin-off. If it weren't associated with Cars 1, where it's like, oh, you have to value the time that you have in this world. And then they bomb England. it would have been a problem, right? Because it's just a random movie that's kind of fun. But that's the problem. It is related to Cars 1 and 3. These movies have, or at least try to have, emotional value. Cars 2? No, it doesn't. So it raises the question, why do I think Cars 2 is a good movie? Well, let's just think about how just terrible it is. Here, I even made a list for this. You got talking warboats instead of cars. The Queen of England is in it. Mater pees himself at some point. It plays to every single spy cliche. There's just full disguise scenes. They're trying to have a mystery bad guy, even though it is painfully obvious. The soundtrack is just as spy theme as it gets. Everybody is comically British. And best of all, London just blows up. You have a movie as unserious as this. It's really weird to have good visuals and a great soundtrack. Like, why? What? So this soundtrack was made by Michael Giacchino. You know Michael Giacchino, I guarantee it, especially if you're watching this video. He made Ratatouille, he made Up, he made Lost, he made The Incredibles, Inside Out, you name it, he made Star Trek. New Star Trek soundtrack. What? And he made Cars 2. What? So they casually got this amazing composer to just do this abomination of a movie. And it's so funny because it turns out to be good. It is one of the greatest soundtracks of Pixar history. And it's not because, oh, this riff means this and this sound represents this character. No, it just makes you want to just be British. You know, and even better than all of that, John Lasseter, the director of this movie, he was doing like 4 pounds of cocaine while writing this. In an interview with him, the conversation kind of went like, well, hey John, what made you want to make this movie? You know, because I know Cars was a successful movie. Oh, well, what would Mater do? What would Mater do? Like, whenever you're about to commit a crime and you're thinking like, oh, this isn't good, what would Jesus do? Just think about it. No. What would Jesus do? No, he'd do something good. Just do what Mater would do. Just bomb England. This movie makes so little sense, but it's so funny that you can't help but enjoy it. Like, take Monty Python, for example, right? That movie, again, was just a fever dream. You don't know what was going on, but you thoroughly enjoyed it. Cars has the same exact thing, but with the precedent of it being good. So imagine it's 2011, you're rolling up to the theater, right? And you're like, okay, Cars was an awesome movie. You roll into the movie theater, and it's like, Cars 2, woo, I can't wait to relive my childhood memories. And it's just, the Queen of England is there. All that being said, right? People still dislike the movie. The critic scores suck, the fan scores suck. And whenever you talk to anyone about it, it's very divided. They either don't like it or they love it. Both are kind of stupid as to why they love it. Or why they have their opinion, right? They're both kind of stupid as to why they have their opinion. One side hates it because it's not Pixar's brand, right? They made such original movies. They got Coco, they got Up, they got WALL-E. They got these movies that are so incredibly emotional, that hold your childhood in their grasp. They're grubby little mitts. They're mucky little hands. And then they go and make Cars 2, right? So it makes sense why you dislike it. It makes sense. But if you like it, it's for all the reasons I just said. It's a stupid reason to like a movie. But it's so... it's so funny. And as I said before, it's Cars. It's not Spies in Disguise with Will Smith and Tom Holland. It's Cars 2 with with Owen Wilson in a tow truck. So how do you end up enjoying a movie like this? Well, you gotta just take some drugs with it. What? Okay, don't do that. If you watch this movie with a group of close friends and you try not to have an emotional time, you'll be like, wow, they blew up England. Mayor Pete himself. What? it's it's so confusing to the that's a loose line. It's so confusing to the point where it's just so much fun to watch. When I kind of had this realization of this movie being fun rather than good, was I was talking to a friend, my friend David, about it, right? And the movie, we were put on a tier list, and it ended up being like in the middle. It's like in comparison to other things, it's not really that great. But the more we spoke about it, the funnier it got because we realized all of these things. If you want it to be emotional, make it emotional. You think about these things. It's not just a bad movie. It is, you can find enjoyment in anything if you just look at it differently. Try watching Ratatouille, but you think Remy and Linguini are gay lovers. What? Cars 2 is a great movie. It's just, it's a fever dream. I had to pay $10 for this. That's a lot. I had to pay 10 cents for this paper. I read this in a library. The librarian probably thought I was crazy. I am.